Hi there. We're using a new system to record today, so God knows what'll happen. Not hearing a little Zoom lady say, recording in progress. I'm at a loss. I miss her. That's how lonely my life is. The subject today is drinking the sand. And that's a quote from the movie An American President, or The American President, I should say. If you give me a second, I'll give you the full context of it. He's scrolling madly. People want leadership, Mr. President, and in the absence of genuine leadership, they'll listen to anyone who steps up to the microphone. They want leadership. They're so thirsty for it, they'll actually crawl through the desert towards a mirage, and when they discover there's no water, they'll drink the water. To which Michael Douglas, as president, responds, "We've had presidents who were beloved but couldn't find a coherent sentence with two hands and a flashlight. People don't drink the sand because they're thirsty. They drink the sand because they don't know the difference." So drinking the sand. I was in a meeting yesterday with a group of highly talented individuals, none of whom are able to fully support themselves based on their creative endeavors. And these people are at least the ones whose work I'm familiar with, let me put it that way. They're tops. They're amazing people. One fellow was saying that he was asked by someone who knew his work, knew the quality of his work. He's a photographer, graphic artist, photographer, to take pictures of the individual's custom car at a car show to use in some kind of portfolio marketing advertising thing. And the photographer said, okay, let me give you a quote. And he said, between the travel time, because the event was 2 to 3 hours away, expenses, getting everything set up, lighting, blah, 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 then coming back and editing, putting them all together into some kind of portfolio you could actually use, I'm going to say $500. Now, I know this individual's work, I'm very familiar with it. That was cheap. And the response to the person he made the quote to was, $500? I can have some AI thing do it for me for 60. No thanks. And that upset the individual, which it would upset the fuck out of me. So that's the subject for this experiment. Drinking the sand. Much like the quote from the movie. The thing is, this guy said $60 for an AI thing. Now, I'm not a photographer. I'm not a visual artist by any sense. But I can look at something and know, wow, that's good. I don't have to know all the work that went into it. I can tell, wow, that's good. As an author, I can look at something written and go, geez, wow, that's really good, versus something else which is, my God, can I disinfect myself before I, because I touched that? As a senior fiction editor, for those of you who don't know, I'm a senior fiction editor for a journal. I see a lot of manuscripts which suck. No other way to put it. They suck. I have to wonder, really? You put words together? And there are the occasional, oh my God, let me recommend you to a higher paying market because I want you to get everything you're worth for this thing. And if you can't sell it, come back to me. I'll take it. Authors and writers who I offer that to are so far amazingly thankful. Good. I make suggestions on their work. People who are close, really close, their work is really close. I make suggestions and they write back to me, thanks, that was great. And here it is again, beautiful. But that does not mean the majority of the public, the majority of the people doing the work and the people who are accepting, taking, not in the editorial sense, but purveyors of the work. If they don't know what's good and all they see is sand, they're going to drink the sand because they have no idea what's good. Does that mean you have to be educated to enjoy something? Excuse me. I don't necessarily think it does. I think just you should be able to tell that this was really entertaining and engaging. In the case of writing, and I say this to people, the minute I have to put the story down or the book down, the minute I lose interest, the minute I begin skimming, the book has failed, the story has failed, the author has failed. In visual art, because I'm not a very visual person, I'm not going to stand there for hours. However, I've been to art museums, fine art, NFAs, and I have sat and stared for hours, for half hours, at paintings and at photographs because I'm so captivated by the beauty of it. And I compare that to a, Velvet Elvis, which has its place. Velvet Elvises have their place, and you can use them as a prop in a story. I believe essentially a Velvet Elvis was a prop in the original movie of The In-Laws with Alan Arkin and Peter Falk. And I laughed out loud at that. But this right here, this is a bitch session. This is a venting. Because the market at present is willing to drink sand. Will they always be willing to drink sand? Let's face it. When there's one glass of water and 18,000 square miles of sand, you have a bitch of a time finding that one glass of water. The talk about AI got involved. Well, the AI revolution is similar to the Industrial Revolution. You had people who were very highly skilled craftspeople, and they were losing their jobs to automation, to industrial automation. Some of them just stayed with it. Some of them said, okay, well, I'm going to be a craftsman and my market, my audience is going to diminish significantly, but I'm going to charge top dollar. And that is a real crux point right there. That's, the fulcrum moving the earth. Yeah, if you have an audience that's willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can produce one or two pieces per year and get away with it. Good for you. The other path people could have taken, and a lot of them did, was I'm going to learn how to use the industrial automation tools. I'm going to learn how to use the printing press. I'm going to, rather than sit there and do this wonderful thing, I'm going to learn how to use the printing press. I'm going to learn how to use the factory floor. Great. I think the next lead generation of people, and it's going to take a while to shake out, I do realize, because there's an awful lot of desert out there, tremendous amount of sand, are the people who are going to learn how to use the quote-unquote AI tools. I've seen the AI tools in work. I think they're useful tools. I do not think they are solutions, tools. I've never yet encountered a piece of AI which I did not, written content which I did not recognize as AI. People who are very good uh, visual artists, they evidently can look at a piece of AI constructed content and go, yeah, that was AI. Good for them. I'm not there yet, but I do know I like that and I don't like that. And the more important thing is put them side by side and I can really tell. Do people walking across the desert, can they really tell? Do they care to tell? That's the real question. Is it our job to educate them? No, it's our job to entertain them. And if they are being entertained by something AI created or something for $60 or what have you, some poorly written piece of shit, well, I'm not going to fault them for it. I'm not going to tell them they're stupid idiots, even though I personally have challenges with them. But I will recognize that's their choice until they know better, which is an education issue. And as Isaac Bashevis Singer said, I can't educate them unless I entertain them. Okay, so what are you going to do? Put your own work out there? Hopefully it gets done, it gets recognized, gets taken up. On the social networks. I know I'm just blathering here, but deal with it. Go along with it for a while. All the social networks. My God. Does anybody seriously pay attention to LinkedIn anymore? To Facebook? To Instagram? Instagram used to be the place for visual artists. And then it was the place for authors. And now it's the place for nobody because now everybody's on TikTok. Except now TikTok is getting inundated by crap. So people are moving on to someplace else. What? Blue sky? Green sky. Choose a color of the sky you like. Go there for a while and then move on. Is there a landing zone anywhere? I'm not thinking so. Be able to flow, be able to change with the times. But always, always, always be true to yourself. Be true to your art and be true to your craft. And if you're happy with what you're producing and you're happy with what you're getting for what you're producing, God love you. You're ahead of the game. Me, I constantly want to improve. And maybe that means I'm improving myself right out of the market. And life goes on. Brand new place for the stop button. Here it is over here. Take care, all.